finally time! Spooky season! Hello, welcome back to another video. Let's get started. It is finally spooky season, and I am so sorry for those who have sensitive ears for squealing so much. I'm just really excited for this spooky season, and in this video I'm going to be drawing a bunch of Universal monsters. If you don't know the Universal monsters, they were part of the movie ages where horror was starting to kick off, but also movie productions were also starting to kick off. In some of these Universal monster movies, they really had a lot of things that were both new and both starting out. Again, this was the age where I think it was they were starting to add audio to their footages, but also the fact that they were starting to be more practical when it comes to their practical stunts, their practical sets, but also adding so much detail to it. And again, I really love these Universal monster movies, but also I was able to watch all of them and also understand some of the stories and laugh about some of the plots really well. So I say grab your spooky blanket and grab yourself some candy corn or whatever type of spooky snacks, and let's get this video started. First, we have Dracula. Dracula is an 1897 gothic horror novel by Irish author Bram Stoker. This vampire movie / novel was a really good impact and also a good starter for me because I really love drawing vampires, and when it came to Dracula, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like the classic Dracula where it had the red and black cape, the big long fangs, the dead eye stare. I wanted to make her more elegant and more pretty. I felt that when it came to drawing this type of Dracula, I wanted to make sure that she was throwing a type of party, celebrating the many generations that she lived, but also getting ready to feast on the villagers who came and attended her parties. I really liked how her hair looked. I loved the added detail to the pearl bloody necklace, and I feel like this first drawing is really cute and adorable. Next is Frankenstein. Frankenstein is a gothic novel made in 1818 by the author Mary Shelley. For my design on Frankenstein, I wanted to try and not do the big hair and blocky image. What I wanted to do for Frankenstein, I wanted to do like more curvier design and more of a fluffy hair design. I didn't want to do the classic like long trench coat and so forth, so I gave him a short trench coat. I gave him the long luscious boots, but also I wanted to give him a coat. I kept with the original design, but also I kept on struggling with the hair, but again, this is still a cute and classic Frankenstein design. Next is The Mummy. The Mummy was created as a movie, not as a book. It was made back in 1932 during the American pre-code supernatural horror films and was directed by Carl Friedrich. When it came to The Mummy, I didn't want to do the whole bandage strap. I was picturing this mummy as, yes, a Cleo denial type of mummy. So what I did was I made sure to give them a lot of pearls, a lot of glitter, a lot of glam, because I felt that mummies were not depicted correctly, even though they were trying to look like zombies wrapped in bandage. So for mine, I took the Monster High approach, and I did the approach where I just grabbed bandages, put him as a dress, put him as shoes. I grabbed a lot of pearls, and I made sure to use the little scarab on her little corsage, but also make sure that she looks royally and queen-like. And I like this one too. Next is Metaluna Mutant. So this was a feature film that was made back in 1955 for science fiction and the film called The Island Earth. I did not know this movie existed, but also I did not know the fact that Universal made this type of movie. I really like the design, and I really like how it looks like a playful version of a type of alien, even though it was still trying to be that creepy and horror-esque vibe to it. Again, I really like the vibe to it, and I really liked how the character looks. I felt like for when it came to designing this character, the one thing that was really time consuming was the flowers, and I kept on messing up where I was placing them, but I wanted to go for this 60s type of alien because I felt like this alien one would survive a very, very, very long time. Next is The Island of Lost Souls. I didn't like this movie at all, but I also felt like it wasn't like that fun or entertaining. So I changed it to be more of a fun, like sexier type of ghost. So what I did was do a ghost wearing some little shorts, fishnets, and some boots and just scaring people because yeah, I wanted to do that and it's cute and it's cool. Next is The Mad Ghoul. The Mad Ghoul was made back in 1943 and was an American horror film directed by James Hogan. I really wanted to make sure that this was more of like a cowboy-esque or type of western feeling story because I felt like that was mostly where it was themed after, but also I wanted to do a ghost or a spirit that was in that type of timeline. Next is Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera was made back in 1943 and was an American romantic horror film directed by Arthur Lubin. I did, however, remember that Phantom of the Opera also was created and remade back in 2004 and was still considered a musical and a romantic horror. To me, I prefer the 2004 version rather than the 1943 version, due to the fact that the 1943 version was not that interesting and did not appeal to me. But the moment I watched the 2004 one, I felt like that one was more engaging but also more impactful. I really like this version of the Phantom of the Opera. Next is The Wolfman. So for The Wolfman, there are 3 movies that were depicted by the Wolfman. There was Werewolf in London, made in 1935, a horror film directed by Stuart Walker, then The Wolfman, that was created as a horror fantasy, and then that was released in 2015, and The Wolfman in 1941. When it came to The Wolfman, I wanted to make sure that it belonged in those 3 types of generation because I felt that maybe wolves live longer as the same way as vampires, because wolves and vampires are technically rival arch enemies. So I felt like maybe those were the 3 generations and maybe those were the 3 time periods that they were part of, but also that they had like enough beef. The movie that I've seen the most of is The Werewolf Man, and I felt like The Werewolf Man was really funny and silly, but I also wanted to make sure for my design that she was not too silly, but also on the serious and elegant. Next is Creature from the Black Lagoon. Creature from the Black Lagoon was a 1954 American black and white 3D monster horror film. And when it came to designing the creature from the Black Lagoon, or technically the creature from the Amazon, I wanted to make sure that this design was really fun and enthusiast, but I also didn't want to get any references from the Monster High Universal doll that was released the same year that I was drawing this. I really like the design and I really like the colors of green that I use. I made sure to like shade and also combine the colors as one cohesive whole because I felt that helped out with making the different shades, the different colors, but also creating that underwater murky sea color to help them camouflage. Next is The Invisible Man, an 1897 science fiction novel by H.G. Wells. When it came to creating and designing the Invisible Man, I didn't realize that the Invisible Man was crazy but also mad because he was trying to make a potion / a type of cure to help him in the long run, but in the end he became invisible, and he became a person that went crazy, mad, and trying to cure himself, but in the end he passed away due to the fact that he was invisible. I really like this movie and I really like the fun, playful aesthetic. Next is The Bride of Frankenstein. The Bride of Frankenstein is a 1935 American Gothic science fiction horror film, and this was the first sequel that Universal made. I really loved The Bride of Frankenstein, but I also wanted to make sure that the bride and Frankenstein had different height differences. So that's why there's a line going through trying to mark her height, because I wanted to do that whole Frankenstein's tall and the bride is short, but I also love the fact that I wanted to do like a bride, a gown made for a bride, and I really like how this one looks. It's cute. Next is The Daughter of Frankenstein, also known as The Son of Frankenstein. The Son of Frankenstein is a 1939 American horror film directed by Rowland B. Lee. When it came to designing the Daughter of Frankenstein, I wanted to do this gothic, long dress and tall outfit, but then after a while, I changed it to be more of a soft and elegant character because I felt that maybe the daughter of Frankenstein was more kind and compassionate and actually didn't care of what others thought of her. So I really like this design and I really love the purple in this color. Finally, Tarantula, made in 1955, an American science fiction monster film. For Tarantula, I didn't want to do a big spider or a big spider monster, so what I did was I wanted to create the queen of all tarantulas. So what I did was I was able to find this really nice dress, and I was able to draw and create it into making it look like a spider web. I did the same thing, the same hairstyle as Dracula, but again, I didn't care with how the drawing looked, but I really wanted to make it more elegant and spider-like, and I really like how this drawing looks, and I really love how it came out. And that's it. That is all of, well, most of the Universal Monster characters that I've drawn. There will be more, and I will be posting more of these types of drawings on my TikTok and Instagram account, which are going to be at Deadbones Arts everywhere. So I hope that you have a nice day, night, or whatever, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye!